I got the truth to fight with. They got nothing but gas. No, I don't beg to be forgiven for something I didn't do. Why can't I get a decent record player?
Barbara, the federal appeal has been denied.
Take deep breaths, it's easier.
She walked to the gas chamber in red silk pajamas, lipstick on, head held high. Outside, reporters called her Bloody Babs. Inside, guards just called her Barbara. Inmate W14304. One woman, 1 hour left to live, and more questions than answers. Was she a cold-blooded killer? Or just another name buried under bad luck, bad choices, and a justice system that rushed the ending? This is the story of Barbara Graham, the last day of her life, and everything that went wrong before it. June 2nd, 1955, not even sunrise. Barbara Graham is already awake in her prison cell at the California Institution for Women in Corona. She's not hoping for a miracle. She's packing bath powder, a poetry book, a gray tailored suit and heels, the same ones she wore at trial. She puts on her wedding ring and wristwatch. That's it. No suitcase, no goodbye note, just a few final pieces of herself. At 5:45 a.m., 2 guards walk her out. No chains, no noise. She slides into the back seat of an unmarked car for a 10-hour ride through California, all the way to San Quentin. She knows what's waiting at the end. She spends most of the trip in silence. Sometimes she reads. Sometimes she stares out at the dusty highway. "You always hope," she tells a prison nurse later that night. "But if it's God's will that I die, then I'll die. I'm at peace." That's what she says, but nobody really knows. By the time she arrives at San Quentin around 4 p.m., the media is already camped out. Flashbulbs go off. Reporters scramble for quotes. 11 journalists have secured front row seats to watch her die. Cameras can't come in, but their pens are sharp enough. Barbara steps out of the car, calm, styled, composed. She's wearing a French twist hairstyle, lipstick, perfect brows. Her frame looks small under the pressure of the moment, but her face gives nothing away. No panic, no pleading. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's defiance, or maybe she's just done pretending to be afraid. Warden Harley Teets greets her. She nods, says nothing. He leads her to a cell near the gas chamber. It's small, cold, and empty. Just a cot, a toilet, and a shelf with a radio. A tarp has been placed over the chamber windows. She won't see the chair until the very last moment. The warden offers her a meal, anything she wants. She declines. She hasn't eaten all day, just a milkshake during the long ride. A nurse named Barbara Cates is assigned to stay with her. Later, the warden tells reporters she was dead beat, worn out. And still, she manages to smile when he bums a cigarette from her. Night falls. Barbara changes into her red silk pajamas. The chaplain sits with her, offering prayers and communion. Classical music plays softly on the radio, the only sound in the room. At 10 p.m., her attorney Al Matthews shows up with the expected news. The California Supreme Court has denied her final appeal. The message is brief. This order is final and forthwith. Governor Goodwin Knight refuses to intervene. No clemency, no delay, just a cold statement from the top. There is no basis for mercy. Barbara doesn't cry. She doesn't argue. She just smokes another cigarette and keeps talking to Nurse Cates. She stays up all night. By dawn, she's chain smoking, still awake. She writes letters to the attorney and 2 journalists, thanking them for trying. At one point, the radio announcer claims 4 couples have offered to adopt her young son, Tommy. It's not true. But hearing his name cracks something open in her. She spirals. The nurse quickly changes the station. Barbara asks for a hot fudge sundae. eats a few bites, pushes it away. Around 9 a.m., she begins to prepare. Hair brushed, face clean, steady. But then the phone rings. A temporary stay has been issued. She asks, "Does this mean I'm going to live?" The answer, no. The California Supreme Court has agreed to review a new petition. Her attorney argues that her trial was tainted by illegal wiretaps and evidence that should have never been allowed. The governor reads it. One sentence in the legal opinion makes him hesitate. But he ultimately decides it doesn't apply to Barbara's case. At 10:25 a.m., the state denies the appeal. 2 minutes later, the execution is back on. Barbara gets dressed again. Lipstick, earrings. When she tries to fasten them, her fingers shake. But she doesn't stop. She wants to look like herself, not like a victim. The warden enters with 2 guards. One of them is holding a white mesh harness. "What's that for?" she asks. "It's a stethoscope," he explains. It wraps under her clothes and connects to a rubber tube that runs out of the chamber wall, so a doctor can listen to her heartbeat and know exactly when it stops. She also asks for a mask. "I don't want to look at people," she says. The mask is a leftover from the days when California hanged its prisoners. They let her wear it. When she reaches for her shoes, the warden tells her she can't wear them inside. She smiles faintly and says, "I look better with my shoes on." He lets it slide. 2 priests arrive to give last rites. They place a medallion of St. Jude around her neck. She smiles again. "Thanks," she says. "It's a lovely going-away present." 40 people are waiting inside the gas chamber gallery. No friends, no family, no son. Just strangers. Barbara is about to be led from her cell when the phone rings again. Another stay. Her attorney has filed one final appeal, this time claiming that one of the state's key witnesses lied under oath. Perjury. Barbara slumps back down. "Why did they torture me like this?" she whispers. "I was ready to go at 10. She paces, chain smokes, waits. At 11:15 a.m., the final answer comes. The court has denied the appeal. No more delays, no more calls. 15 minutes later, Barbara Graham walks to the gas chamber. She's wearing a fitted jacket, red silk pajamas underneath, shoes, and the white harness hidden beneath the fabric. The mask covers her face. Warden Teets pats her arm at the chamber door. "Goodbye, and God bless you," he says quietly. She nods. Inside, she's guided to the steel chair. She sits without resistance. Straps are fastened around her arms, legs, chest. A guard gently pats her arm, tells her to breathe deep when the gas hits. Someone asks if she has last words. She says calmly, "Good people are always so sure they're right." At 11:34 a.m., the chamber door seals shut. The executioner pulls the lever. Cyanide pellets drop into acid below the chair. Barbara Graham tilts her head back, breathes in. Her head slumps forward. But death doesn't come quickly. Her body jerks. Her head snaps back. She gasps over and over. It takes 7 minutes. At 11:42 a.m., she goes still. The prison doctor listens for a heartbeat through the rubber tube. Nothing. He records the official time of death. Reporters call it a clean execution. But one journalist, Gail Cook, saw it differently. She died with great dignity. At 11:42, that was her last and final death. So what do you believe? Was Barbara Graham a cold-blooded killer who got what she deserved? Or a woman destroyed by lies, betrayal, and a trial that was never fair? Justice, or just a show? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want more true crime stories that ask real questions, The kind that keep you thinking long after the video ends. Hit like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. This isn't the end. It's just the next chapter.